All right, now that we have our multiple forms in our project, hopefully you found that very simple to do, and you can practice that a little bit. Just make sure you bring those in, name them correctly, and so on. This is what, now what we want to be able to do is from our main form, all right, I should just click on it right here. I want to be able to press this button and go to the Kentucky form. I want to press this button, press this button to go to Ohio form, and press this button to go to the Kentucky form. That's how we navigate from one form to the other. It's actually very easy to do this, but you got to do a couple things, and I need to introduce you to a couple what we will call methods that will actually do this for us, okay? All right, so a couple things I'm going to do first to clean up some stuff. As you saw, it has Ohio up there, that's good. Let's see, Kentucky, let's see, where's my Kentucky format? Kentucky somehow has form Kentucky up there, and that's going to drive me crazy. And so we'll just have Kentucky sitting there. There we go. That's probably an illness I need to correct. Let's see. Am I on the okay? So let's see. That's my Kentucky one. There's my Ohio one, and there we go. Right there, my main form. So I'm going to go back to my main form here and talk about what do I need to do now to get it to show my new form. And there's a couple of things I'm going to introduce you to with. So I'm going to double click here. So what I want to happen when I double click here is I want to actually show my new form. Okay. To do that, you got to do a couple different things. Number one, you have to bring the form you want to show into memory. And to do that, you would say dim. And what I like to do is just basically use the same, and so this is for Ohio. It's dim from Ohio. This could be dim any name, really, okay? I like keeping the same name. But I'll tell you what, we're going to say FRM. We're just going to put OH here so you can differentiate the two different things or the two names. This is the name of the form I'm going to be able to reference and code, but it's actually going to say it's as new. See this word new right here? You must use this as new, and then you find the form that you actually want to show. In this case, form Ohio. You see that right there? Same as that right there. Okay. So what that line did right here is bring this form Ohio into memory, and we named it FRMOH. I could name this Bob. I could name this anything. What I normally name it is the exact same name as the form. That's what I do. And so, but they're two distinct things, but just for sake of example, FRMOH is what I'm going to be able to reference this form in memory. Does that make sense? Okay. Then all I need to do is take the name I gave it, FRMOH, and hit dot. And then there's one of two things we can do. We can either show or ShowDialog. All right? So this right here is how you show a new form. Pretty easy, right? Let's go ahead and show it to you. Start this up. There you go. I hit Ohio, and you see Ohio comes in. Ohio is okay, but Kentucky is great. All right? Get the idea? All right. My exit, I did not put closes in there, so if I close it, I'll close it right there. I'll fix that here in a second. It goes back to my main form. All right. Once again, I haven't done anything with Kentucky yet or the exit. So in this case here, that's how I show a form. Pretty simple. Let's go ahead and do Kentucky's. Let's get back to my main. Kentucky. And dim, same type thing. FRMKY, FRMKY, I will do. Okay, as new, see that new there? New must be there. FRM Kentucky. If you saw that, IntelliSense actually found the forms over here in our Extrusion Explorer. And then what I can do here, FRMKY dot, okay, because you saw what I did in IntelliSense there, they both popped up. You want the one that you named in memory. This is going to be FRMKY, okay, FRMKY dot, and I'm going to show you ShowDialog. These are two distinct different ways of showing forms, either show or ShowDialog, all right? And let's go ahead, I'm going to update my stuff here. Let's see, let's go ahead and put a close here. And Ohio, the same thing, close here. And also on my main, let's do a close on my main. Where's that at? Main. Oops, I don't know. Let's see. Where's main at? Main. Hello, main. Here you go. There you go. And we will put a close there. That just closes the forms like you know how to do already. All right. I want to show you the difference between show and ShowDialog. It's very important you understand these differences. One of these you're going to use the mass majority of the time. The other one is going to be every once in a while. All right? So how do we do that? Well, if I sit back and hit start, a couple things you will see. I'm going to click on Kentucky, and my Kentucky form comes on. If I come back over here and try, I'm clicking, okay? I'm actually going to these buttons trying to click. As you will see, nothing else is happening. You might actually hear the little bells in the background. Nothing is happening. I cannot close this and so on. So what's happening here is the complete control of the application is now on this form. And it's going to stay on this form until I end that form. Either close the form or hit the X up here. Once I hit exit, I come back here and I can do it again. You see how that worked? But once again, because of ShowDialog, what ShowDialog does, I'm trying to move that over, not working very well. What ShowDialog does, there it goes, basically it sends the complete control to the called form. And this means I can't do anything else. This is the one I use the mass majority of the time. Usually when I open up a new form, I want the user to complete that form, do whatever they're planning on doing to that form and complete it. And once complete, we close it. Maybe I hit the submit button, and after I do that, I do a bunch of things, show some output or whatever, and then when I hit the exit button, the control now goes back to where it was called. In this case, my main form. Does that make sense? So this is how I want this to be done. Once again, I cannot do anything on this form because this form has complete control, and that's under ShowDialog. All right? Ohio, though, is a little different. If I go over here to Ohio, you can see I can actually click. Now, I actually clicked on Kentucky, so nothing, I can't do anything until I get rid of Kentucky, but I can actually, if I wanted to, open up several Ohio forms at one time. All right? And with that, that's under show. I very rarely do this. I can only think of one time in my career where I actually used the show method. But if for some reason you're in a situation in your programming where you want to have multiple instances of the form up at any one time, that's how you do it. It's with show. Okay? Majority of the time, you open it up and you allow that control to go there, and that will be ShowDialog. All right? A couple of other things I want to show you, though, between show and ShowDialog. Under the thing show, if I put a message box here, that show, it says, I just, let's see, clicked on Ohio. And I put another message box here. I'm putting it right under the show and the ShowDialog. And I just clicked Kentucky. Okay? So when will you think these will execute? Because we can actually have code after this, okay? That's the big question. Once again, it's different between show and ShowDialog. When I start this, and it might become important to you as you move on, and maybe you want to do something when that form comes back and so on. In Ohio, when I clicked that under show, as you see, it opened up the form and it continued on with the code afterwards immediately. And that's called I just clicked Ohio, okay? And that's all cool. For Kentucky, you notice that the message box did not pop up. It basically stayed right here. It's not going to go to the next line of code until we close out the form that was just called, in this case, the Kentucky form. As soon as I exit out of this, you'll see that that message box continues on. So I may, in my programming, want to do something after I return back. I don't know. We'll see. Right now, not too much you're going to do, but you could end up with to do code as soon as you come back to that main form. Does that make sense? So in this video, we showed you, number one, how do you, show a form, basically. And there's two distinct ways. This is basically called the object. So this is an object. So this is basically, I got my form. This is the name of that form in memory. I'm going to do a dot show. That's called a method. Dot show allows you to open up as many instances of the form, and it doesn't make any difference. And control, there is no control. It's any form you want to click on, you have control on. It continues on with the code afterwards if you have any. In ShowDialog, it will basically give you, it puts the control to that form you just did. And the control will stay there. You cannot go anywhere else until that form is closed. And when it does, it moves on, allows you to come back and do the next things. And in this case, also moves on and then it does any kind of code you may have afterwards, if you have any. Does that make sense? So show and ShowDialog. Once again, I use ShowDialog 99.99999% of the time. In the remaining of this course, you'll be using ShowDialog. Show will be very rare on very unique occasions. So really, the one you want to learn more about is ShowDialog, okay? And that's how you show a form and close a form.